Greetings. The purpose of this screencast is to show you how to set up narrative grades in Aeries and how to take off sort of an overall course grade from view. And as a reminder and a request, this is a live real teacher, real student gradebook that I'm sharing. So please don't share this link beyond the Lincoln staff population. So don't put it out to parents or students. So I'm in my third period, or third trimester, fifth period, trimester 3 gradebook for my TA. And hopefully you can navigate here. And I'm on the Manage Year tab. And I'm going to show you some of the options I've selected. There's obviously some wiggle room you've got. I'm not weighting assignments. I'm not using different categories. I'm just going to have one. You can apply assignment scores immediately, or you can wait. It just how soon they're going to see the words. I've taken off pretty much everything else. And I'm also hiding the overall percentage from the parents and students. And I'm only showing the final mark to me. And so I'm sort of limiting what the parents can see. I only want them to know if their student has done something or not done something. For categories, as I mentioned, I've only got one. I've called it Learning Opportunity, and that's based on the district language. And I did that by adding a new category, so it doesn't say the word assignment there. I don't have any assignments yet. I'm going to go over to the final marks, and I did load in, as per the district directions, the passes of 60% and above. And the focus right now is going to be on narrative grades. And narrative grades are when you use letters or words instead of numbers as assignments. So not points, but letters. So instead of putting 82%, you would have written on the paper B-. So I want to add a new set. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to give my set a name, and it's going to be called the completed set. That's just how I'm using it. And we've got sort of 3 levels. And not yet is going to mean not turned in or partially done. I'm going to use the word completed to mean turned in or done. And I'm going to use exceeded to mean above, and I'm just going to put above expectations. So I'm going to define my words, and I'm going to hit the save button, and it's going to auto-populate with some of the more familiar, commonly used narrative grade codes. And so this is where you would be putting like an A for an assignment or an A+, and you could decide what percentages it is. It's not the overall cumulative grade. It's the assignment by assignment grade code that you would be using. And I don't want to use any of these. I want to add my own marks. So I'm going to use not space yet. I'm going to save that change. I'm going to add another mark, and it's going to be called completed. I'm going to add another mark. I didn't need to save it, and it's called exceeded. And I'm going to actually delete out all of these other ones because I don't want my drop-down menu to be really big. And so after I've added my marks, I'm just going to delete all these others. I don't want to delete the wrong ones. So these are the 3 I'm going to be using, and I'm going to say Save Changes. So I've made a narrative grade set, and I could actually have more than one. And I'm just going to show this as an example. I'm going to add another set, and I'm going to call this set the attendance set. And it's going to be Zoom attendance. And maybe I'm going to save it. And again, I'm going to use the words attended. And I'm going to use the word not attend. And I say not attend because you only have 9 spaces. And so I'm going to delete everything else. And maybe it would have been smarter of me, instead of having attend and not attend, maybe I would just have the words yes and no. Let me delete that. So like, did they attend? Yes. Did they not attend? Oops, I forgot to delete that one. And then save the changes. So I've made 2 different narrative sets, and I could have many more, but that's plenty for now. Now I'm going to go over to assignments, and I'm going to add an assignment, and I'm going to make up a pretend assignment. And I'm going to only have the category of learning opportunity, and this is the thing I'm going to pay attention to. I have this thing called narrative grading, and this is only available if you've set up your narrative grade sets. And I decide which set am I going to use. Is this attendance or completed? Well, this is a pretend assignment, or I should say pretend learning activity. And I'm going to use the completed, not completed set. I'm not going to give it any points at all because that's how I'm setting up my gradebook, but it is going to be visible. I'm going to save and close. And I've got this as an assignment. When I go over to my scores by class or entering my assignments, it's listed right there, and hopefully we can see that. Listed right there. And now when I go enter that score, these are my choices. And I'm going to say he completed that. And go ahead and ignore this down here. That's fine, because I can even go ahead and I can click is grading complete. And it's not affecting his percentage. He doesn't have a mark at all. And I'm going to show you the student side of this. And again, this is an actual gradebook, so we're going to be mindful of that. Pretend learning activity, completed, no percentage. It does have this weird percent stuff down here, but that's okay. And this is what the kid and the family sees. And back on his overall Aeries, we can see next to my class, there's like nothing there. It's just a big old blank. And they would come see that he had completed something. Let's show that again. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add another assignment. And this time I'm going to do pretend Zoom Monday. And it's going to be narrative grading of attendance. And I'm not going to do any points. I'm going to save and close. And now for pretend Zoom on Monday, I can land on yes. And it doesn't actually matter if I hit grading completed or not. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to refresh the student view. And I'm going to click on my class. And he'll be able to see them both, that he completed something, that he did attend the Zoom meeting. Let's see what it would look like if I created another assignment. And I'll do pretend essay. And narrative grading is complete. I'm not putting any point value here because this is just meant to communicate if a student's done something. And I'm going to say not yet. I'm going to come over to the student side. I'm going to hit my refresh, select my class, and again, not yet. And nothing is impacting his grade. It does have these funky like words over zero, impossible fractions, and everything stays in the 0 zone. But I think that that's okay and understandable for a parent. All right, I'm back on my teacher side, and I'm going to point out one more thing. So I'm going to add another assignment, and I'm going to call it pretend activity. And I'm going to give it the narrative grading set of completed, no points. I'm going to save and close it. And I'm going to point out that I don't have to do the drop-down menu. So I'm going to move my cursor away. And it's smart enough to know the letters. So I can just smart key and cycle through. We always have NA and TX, but I can land on the letter and I don't have to do my full drop-down menu and then just hit my enter button. And I would then go to my second student on the list if I had a second student. So again, that was through manage, and then I landed on narrative grades. And again, in my settings, I chose to take off the display final mark. And that's because when we come back to Gradebook Central for the student, I want this to be blank. I don't even want it to say pass or fail right now. And when they click on the class, I don't want there to be any sort of letter, grade, or indication. I just want this to be a checklist for the parent so that the parent and the student knows if they did an assignment, if they attended a Zoom meeting, if they did an extraordinary job, or if they still need to work on that. So that's how I'm using narrative grades.